Okay, so here's a quick video to show you the best ways I've found to get rid of Himalayan blackberry. What we're looking at here is my neighbor's backyard, and obviously they don't control it, so every year it makes its way into our yard. So I'm going to show you basically how to get out the big thicket stuff, and then also to remove it permanently. We use a product called Stump and Vine Killer. So basically you're cutting each stem to the ground and then putting a little dab of the cut stump and vine right at the base of where you cut, and that soaks into the root, kills the whole plant, but doesn't require that you soak the area with chemicals. So it actually will let everything around it live, which is really important because ultimately when you get rid of the blackberry, what you want is for either native plants in the area to grow back and fill it in, or anything you're planting to grow and fill it in. So you're going to need a few things. You need this Cut Stump and Vine Killer by Bonide, a pair of pruners to cut these guys down to the base, and then if you've got a big area like this, the very best thing I've found to use, you can just use a pair of loppers, but if you can get an electric hedge trimmer, man, these things will cut through this so fast. You see this whole section behind our shrubs here. I cleared this whole section in about 20 minutes. So with loppers, that would have probably taken me an hour or maybe even an hour and a half to get through that all. So I'm just gonna run you through the steps real quick, and hopefully you can use this. We've cleared over probably a quarter acre of blackberry on our property that is now a usable area of our property, where before it was just completely coated with blackberry like this. So if you have them, rose gloves are the best thing to wear because they have the leather that goes up the arm like that to protect you from scratches. These, obviously, the blackberry thorns are extremely brutal on your skin. So that leaves you with a lot of stems like this, right? And I usually leave them kind of long so I can find them easily. But basically I'm going to just cut these down as low as I can. And then inside here it's got a little dab, or sometimes it's more like a brush, and you just dab it on there, and that's it. And you see this one has another one coming up next to it, so I'm going to take that one out. This time of year, which is it's April right now, is a great time to do this because it hasn't grown in too much. And you'll see if I dig out around the base, here is last year's growth and here is next year's growth coming in. You really want to make sure to hit both, so that because if you do it and you just get last year's growth, obviously the new one's going to come in. So for each stalk there should be 2 cuts. You get that one, and then you find next year's growth. On this one it's kind of hidden up here, so I get both those spots. And that's basically it. You gotta go through your whole area, find every spot that has a stalk still, cut it out and dab it. Here's one coming up. So you can see on this one, here it was coming down, and then there's the new one coming up. So on this one here, I clear the area and I find here's the one that came in, and there's the new one. Blackberry actually reproduce in 3 ways. They'll spread through the ground by sending runners. They will drop seed, obviously, from their berries, but they also will send out shoots that go over and land and put down root where they land. So you see all 3 of these here are ones that a shoot came from somewhere else, landed, took root, and now is sending up a new sprout. So I get a lot of these that are underneath my shrubs, so I have to go in and get those out each year. This is a yearly project for me here because this field obviously keeps spreading into my area, but in the parts of our yard where we've removed it entirely, it's where we removed it completely one year. The next year we have a little bit more that comes in, we get it out that second year, and generally by the 3rd year it doesn't come back. So this is actually a really good long-term solution. Still want to go around those areas once a year and double check. Maybe there'll be 1 or 2 coming up, but it's so much better than having it take over like it will if you let it go. So there's 3 main reasons to do this method where you just kill the individual blackberry plants. One is because it actually works. I've seen so many people cut everything and spray the heck out of it with herbicide and have the blackberries come back. The second reason is because you're not spraying all that herbicide on the ground that ends up just running off into the rivers and streams and into the lakes. And we have a lot of lakes here that we don't need filled with chemicals. And the third reason is because it lets the other plants that are around it grow in, which is the only way you'll actually get rid of blackberry permanently. So you can't have open dirt. You'll always get weeds. You'll always get more blackberry back. The only way to really let space go back to its natural balance is by letting either the native plants grow back in or planting other plants that you want there. So this is a nice area you can see that used to be filled with blackberry, and now we have salmonberry and we have Douglas fir and we have a number of other native plants that are filling this space back in, and we even have a nut tree that we planted there as a hazelnut tree. So this space can actually be a functioning ecosystem again, and the blackberry won't come back. And we check it every year. Sometimes we'll get 1 or 2 blackberry and then we just get them out, boom, hit it with the cut Stump and Vine Killer, and it's gone. But if we didn't let these plants come back, we just sprayed the whole area, I guarantee this whole thing would have been blackberry again. We had blackberry growing around the entire perimeter of our yard here. And now you can see it's all native plants and a few nut trees, fruit trees, and ornamentals that we've planted. Hopefully that helps you, and good luck getting rid of your blackberry.